Good morning, YouTubers. This is another video in a series of videos on our small homesteading operation, if you want to call it that. In earlier videos I showed you the pigs that we bought, and we had them inside. We've moved them out to a pen. I'm going to do a video on that later. They're back over there. I have since installed the electric pig netting, which is working perfectly. They're inside of a smaller pen, so I tried it out in there first, but they've never even attempted to leave there. But there'll be another video on that later. Right now, what this is about is the pig shelter I built yesterday. We took this idea from a different video on YouTube, and I right now I can't remember the name of the I think it was From the Ashes, or Acres from the Ashes. I'll put a link on it below when I get a chance. This was a design. There was a couple of them, 2 videos that I've seen that somebody shows you how to make one of these. From the Ashes showed you how to do this. They bent theirs the long way. Basically all this is, if you go to their site, and like I said, I'll put a link. He has a materials list. It's really simple. This is a 2x6x12, 2 2x6x12s, 2 2x6x8 foot pressure treated boards, because they will be on the ground. So we made them pressure treated. These are 2 sections of 16 foot by 50 inch cattle panel and 1 tarp. And as you can see, this one's just been laying around. It's got a hole in the back. So it's perfect use for this. You're going to need zip ties, and you're going to need deck screws, and you're going to need a saw. I used a table saw for this. And what I did was just lay these boards out, screwed the ends in here, put a few screws in on each end with deck screws. I put braces in there. I basically ripped a 2x10 into thirds, and then made these corner braces. And then these were 12 inches long because they just fit inside of that cattle panel there. I had to kind of measure it until it would fit in between. You can't really see that, but I put a couple screws in there. The screws I had really weren't long enough, but I did 3 on each end. I can't remember the length of the screw, but you can figure it out. I mean, they were long enough. I would have got something a little narrower and a little longer maybe. So that's what I have to find out for the next project. But after that, we just zip tied, I put screws in on the back here and just put them in there, folded in the corners, zip tied the corners inside. So there's the grommet there, and that grommet is zip tied to that. So this is a little loose. I don't know, if pigs are going to eat at that or how that's going to work, but that's what we got. And I left a little space on each side, a little less on this side than this side, for ventilation in the summer when it's hot. I'm going to put it so that the side would be facing the wind. The wind from here comes out of the west for the most part. So I would face it, going this way wherever I put it. I'm going to put it out there. I'll show you in a minute. And, I'll probably throw some hay in there and stuff like that. Up on this side to close off, that area. I might even put a flap on there or something on this side that can go on there. But really, I think if I just put some hay down. I have a lower profile on this than the one in the video that I'm going to put a link to where I learned this from. They had a much more of a bow on there. And what happened for me was I had these 16-foot cattle panels. I had to go get them in the Ford F-150, and it's an 8-foot bed. So I dragged these out of the Tractor Supply into the parking lot, cut them with a bolt cutters in the parking lot, and I cut them a little short. I think I cut them at 10 or 11 feet. I probably would have gone another couple feet and let it hang out a little more out of the back. I did have room for that once I put the gate up, and that's where I put all the lumber on top of it, and it all held in there pretty well. So But you know, honestly, this isn't bad. The one that they said they could do 10 pigs, and like I said, they did it the other way. They bowed the hog panel that way, and so they must have had kept it a pretty good length. And I don't really even know how they transported it, but this is what I came up with, and I don't think it's bad. I like the lower profile. These hogs are going to get in there and dig in there and make a nest. They're going to dig into the ground. The lower profile is good for, you know, keeping the wind out of there, and weather. So I think that this will do just fine. That's about it. I mean, it's a pretty simple design. Now the next thing is getting it out into the field. What I'm going to do next is to put two wheels on there somehow. The one guy used some lawnmower wheels that he bought. I'm going to try to find those today. I'm going to make a trip back to Tractor Supply. And then I have to figure out how to tow it with the good old Case 222 here, which I'll do a video on that. That was a recent purchase for the homestead. And it was $500. I got it for $450 because there is some adjustments that need to be done on the PTO, and came with a mower deck. I took that off to sharpen the blades. Came with a little trailer. But I'll do a different video on that. Anyway, yeah, I can't just tow it with the hitch. I got to rig something up. So I think I'm going to take the little trailer, which is way over there, sitting right there, if you can see it. And I'm going to see if I can hook that up. And that just goes with a little pin. I'll take that hitch off, hook that trailer up, and then just set this over top of that trailer and see if I can pull it with the trailer. I think I might have some problems with that as well. So is this the most mobile unit? No. You know, it's going to be tricky for me to get this around here now that I've built it. It's pretty heavy. I'd say it's semi-permanent. I could have done a different design. And if I had it to do over, I would probably go back and look at a design. It would cost more, I think, because of the materials, labor, and all of that. But it was a collapsible design. I can't remember the name of the people that did it. If you're watching YouTube videos on this stuff, there's only so many. He's a pig operation. I think he also does beef. And they have their sows out in the field in the winter. I think he's in Virginia. I'll find the guy. But his collapsed. They were these portable huts, and they collapsed down into themselves, and you could just throw them on the back of a trailer and like that and drive it out of there. So, but this is what we have. So, you know, for all the different designs that there are, this is an easy one. It will work. Our pigs got some sunburn recently. We have Yorkshires. They got sunburned. They're a little uncomfortable. You can see that they have a little bit of sunburn, and the way that you can tell is they'll kind of buckle their back legs like they're bending their back, and they're doing that to I think stretch out their back. You know, to kind of, it's kind of like itchy for them. So here we go. They're up eating. They've knocked over their food. I've taken two of those pans, and what I did was I had to stake them to the ground because they kept knocking them over. You see how they're doing that. That's some kind of itch in their backs. So I've dumped mud on him yesterday. So it's not ideal. I don't want them to be uncomfortable like that. They've done a remarkable job on tearing this thing up. And if we could go get them in our garden, I don't know if you can see it, but they've really done a good job ripping up this stuff, the roots. This was all buckthorn. So it'll be interesting to see how this turns out. I think we might throw some squash in here after we move them out of here, or something like that. It's partial sun, partial shade. Grow some plants in here. They fertilized it. You know, they've dug it up a little bit. They've rooted it up for us. We could get a tiller back here and till this up and throw some squash in here. We really don't even have to do that. We can just dig a hole and put some squash in here. So the idea is to try to move them out there where that shade is and I'll have to drag that monstrosity now out there, through there, and then out there somewhere. We'll be able to figure it out. I'll probably cut a few little saplings down, and then when it's time to move them, you know, I'll have to drag that thing out of there again and move it over a little bit to the right. But when we get to doing that, I'll do another video on it. So that's our little operation. We did also get some chickens. I have yet to do a video on that. As you can see, they're not gonna come near that fence. It's a little restrictive in there. I don't really like it, because I had to move their feeders and their waters, because while they were drinking water, their butt would hit the fence, and you know, they make a yelp, and it's not great. So you don't want them to be uncomfortable. The idea is that, you know, while they're here, we provide them with food and water, and let them live humanely. These are not the best pigs for pasture. They were out in the early season. They've already got a burn just from being out, and you can see it's partially shady. It's not that much direct sun, and they're uncomfortable with that. Their skin is burned a little bit. You can tell, you know what a sunburn feels like. These are Yorkshires. These are bred for, I believe, you know, indoor breeding, indoor raising. So that's what they're made for. They have an Irish grazer out there. One thing I can say, just stepping in here, the bugs obviously picked up immensely. So there's these little flies that are in the poop. The flies lay their larvae in there, and these things have just exploded. So one thing to do would be to take chickens and bring chickens in after these guys are gone, or if we're moving them over there, or even just throw the chickens right in with them, and have some of your hens in there, or even some meat birds. You know, you could put some meat birds in there. You know, we'll see. That's an experiment. The chickens will pick through the poop and eat out the larvae. They'll eat out, you know, anything else, and spread that all over the area, so it's not just in one concentrated area. But you know, I had a rule that I was going to keep these videos short. If this is used, comment below, ask any questions. If there's anything I can answer, I'll try to help out. The one thing I will say to anybody that's watching this, you have to just start doing stuff. I have no idea what I'm doing, and I probably don't give myself enough credit, but most people would say that. You know, if I went to any experienced farmer, he'd come out here and point out 1,000 things that I'm doing wrong or stupid or whatever. But you know what? We're doing it, and there they are. And we got food. We've got everything that we need for these guys. So we've got the electric fence. We've got all that. So we're doing a good job. The costs are getting up there. I'll go over that. If we can sell 3 of these at around $1,000 per pig at 250 pounds, we could break even and have a pig for ourselves. And if we were buying that same pig, we'd be down $1,000, right? So it's a net gain of $1,000 at the end of this. We can look at it like that. But the experience, you know, if we can do this, we can then maybe do 10 pigs, which is why I made that shelter a little bigger. I was going to make a smaller one, but if I decide to do 6, 7, 10 pigs next year, if we can do that, well, then now I'm going to need that shelter. And that shelter can do 10 pigs, is what I was reading. These guys use very little space right now. I've got it. You see their shelter now. I've had to move it different ways for the sun and the wind. But hopefully today I can get them out of here and get them out over there. So let's go for the day. I'll update you guys and let you know how the move went. The next thing I'll also be doing is building a feeder. I did get some wood for that as well at the Home Depot, and I basically went through their scrap rack and found some scrap wood that they were selling 70% off. That's cedar right there, and I want to use that for the base of the feeder. Lumina Acres does a video on a feeder that they did. I'll be doing something similar to that. There's a bunch of videos on it. Theirs was really good. It was one he did with his daughter, and it was just a, you know, it's good to see somebody do that. You might not do it the exact same way, but it helps you get your plans down and what you want to do when you can see what somebody else did. So these are scrap pieces. This is a piece of plywood that came off of a hutch. These are 2 pieces of what did I say? Cedar? I can't remember what I said. I think it's cedar. I might have that wrong. But this is another piece. I've ripped this down. And these are fence posts. So here's the problem. Is the fence posts, the reason I got them is because they were treated. And I thought that'd be a good thing to make this pig feeder out of, because it's going to be outside in the weather. When I got back, I thought, well, darn, you know, it's a pig feeder. I'm going to have this food in there. And I don't know why. I changed my plans. I was going to get 2 by 10 by 6s, 2 by 6 by 10s, or 2 by 10 by 12 feet pine boards, and then make it out of that, or a few of those. And I just scrapped my plans as soon as I got there. Started looking for cheaper wood. They were $1.79 a panel. If I was going to build something else, I've seen other guys do it. That's a really good idea. But now I've got 15 of these things, which I'm going to have to take back. They were $25 for all those, and I could make quite a bit of stuff out of that. But I'm going to take them back. So, and get some other stuff. So I'll be updating you on that. And, you know, that's the report for today. That's where we're at. I've got a ton more videos and stuff I can do, and just share things with you guys. I'm not really getting any. I have 3 subscribers. I think they're my kids and some family. But we're doing this to document it for ourselves, and also to, you know, hopefully it'd be interesting. It'd be good to get to see if people would watch these, and if they're interested, if this would help anybody. So, you know, if so, I've probably look up how to get these out there a little bit. We're doing these right now, just sort of disorganized. I'm going to go back and edit, sort of organize them into a series that then, you know, I'd be able to put out there and maybe market a little bit. Thanks for watching, guys. If you hung in this long, I really appreciate it. Again, leave any comments or questions below, and we'll see you later. Thanks. Bye.